Please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Please be seated.
Welcome, class of 2020. My colleagues and I from the Westborough School Committee are so happy to see you and your families here on this field celebrating your many achievements and your graduation from Westborough High School. The whole town rallied for you to get to this moment. Please reflect on your inspiring accomplishments as you enjoy this time together today as the class of 2020. Let the rousing spirit and sense of community you found in Westborough carry you forward always. Congratulations.
I was looking at pictures of myself the other day, old pictures from 2013, which sounds like it was forever ago. That was my first year at Mill Pond. So much has changed since then. I was quiet and nervous and much more inclined to sit in a classroom reading a book than go to recess. I was 5'1", I had bangs, and the only thing I wore were Bermuda shorts. Now, 7 years later, I've grown a whole 5 inches. My hair has grown about 30. I've swapped out the shorts for jeans, and you can barely get me to shut up, even if you try. Thinking about my growth throughout the years has allowed me to reflect on the idea of change, and more specifically, what causes it? When you strip away the messy details of each individual situation, why do people change? After thinking about this for a while, I've come to the conclusion that personal growth is a result of 2 processes. Firstly, the events that bring you down, and secondly, the actions you take to stand back up. This is exceptionally vague, so I'll try and go into a little more detail. The things that bring you down are the bumps in the road. Anything that results in confusion, panic, or frustration. Sometimes these are small, inconsequential events. One of these happened my freshman year. about the second week of school. While trying to find my locker during break, my friend and I actually managed to get lost. After turning in circles for a second, we just looked at each other, admitted defeat, and asked one of the upperclassmen nearby for help. Looking back at that day makes me laugh now because we were in the C wing on the second floor, and I could never imagine getting lost anywhere in the building. On the other hand, however, sometimes these bumps can feel much more like mountains, which result in a lot of overthinking and many sleepless nights. Sometimes these mountains can feel like the end of the world. Whether these events are big or small, they are all tied together by the sinking feeling in my stomach that tells me that I made a mistake or that I'm not capable of. It sucks, but nonetheless, growth doesn't happen without these hurdles. The second part to this, the part where you stand back up, is where the actual growth occurs. This is where you gain the courage, grit, and skills to keep pushing forward. You decide that you're going to do something, anything, about the problem. This internal shift in mindset is something that only you can control, but one of the most valuable things I've learned is that you're allowed to ask for help along the way. Whenever I've been lost in class, the teachers here have always been willing to help me figure out what was going on. Earlier this year, I made the mistake of zoning out in calculus for a little bit, and when I looked back at the board, it was covered in squiggly lines, symbols, and letters, and there was absolutely no hope of me being able to follow anything. Luckily, Mr. D was always enthusiastic and willing to answer my questions and clear up my confusions whenever I asked. On a slightly larger scale, during the college process, when I inevitably started stressing out and having an existential crisis about who I am and who I want to be, my coaches, teachers, counselors, and friends were unfailingly happy to give me advice and help me talk through ideas. Dozens of 3 a.m. conversations have helped to keep me sane. With the help of the people around you, you learn from your experiences and your mistakes, and you gain the fortitude to move forward into the future. You get stronger and more prepared to tackle whatever comes next. I wanted to say thank you to Westborough and to everyone who has ever lent me a hand, ear, or shoulder over the past couple of years. I wanted to thank my parents for being my #1 fans and supporters, no matter what happens, and I wanted to thank my sister Arushi for the endless jokes, laughs, and car rides to New York. I wanted to thank Mrs. Costa and the rest of my teachers, not only for helping me learn so much, but for always having an open door whenever I came by to visit during other class periods. I wanted to thank my chaotic second family, known as the WHS swim team, and Mrs. Goodliff for being an all-around queen. And lastly, I wanted to give a quick shout out to Han and the rest of my friends for being some of the most wonderful people I've ever met. I could go on forever listing people who have supported me throughout my time at WHS because I wouldn't have made it here today without any of them. Looking at those pictures from me from 6th grade feels like turning around and taking a long, hard look back at all the ups and downs that my time in Westborough has brought me. And I can see that I'm no longer that girl who was too afraid to go to recess. Right now, looking across the class, I know we've all changed. We've developed incredible relationships and friendships. We've discovered things that we're passionate about. And we've learned to walk on the right side of the hallway. Over the past 4 years, we've become much more comfortable in our own individual identities and much more prepared to take on life after this. You've grown. And the fascinating part about growth is that it doesn't stop here. We have a long, long road ahead. There will always be more challenges to face and more mistakes to be made, but hand in hand with those challenges, there is always more room to grow and much more wisdom to gain. To the people of Westborough, everyone from friends to campers to admin, you are the reasons why we are the people we are today. And to the class of 2020, I wouldn't have wanted to grow up with anyone else. Thank you.
You look good. Thank you, Nishka. I'm so glad you got to give a talk to your classmates. 2020, I am so enthusiastically happy to look out and see you, that we made it here to honor you for graduation. I almost didn't make it, I have to say. I needed to travel to Ohio this past week for personal family business, and I actually didn't get the news until first thing this morning that I had received my negative COVID test and clearance from the Board of Health so that I could join you to participate in your graduation. So while this is one of my most quickly written speeches ever, I am incredibly happy to see you. It feels so long ago since we could experience being together. These last 6 months have been an incredible time of emotional extremes for you, for the world, for the nation, but let's focus on you. I've been reflecting on the fact that I feel your generation has gotten very mixed messages from all of us about emotions. Over the last several years, educators like myself have learned some of our absolute best new practices and innovations for supporting the social emotional needs of students at all ages. I mean, as a matter of fact, I believe you represent a class that has benefited from our more thoughtful work on both your emotional intelligence, your emotional needs, and your academic needs. At the same time, I think there are things that we may have lost in the ways that we work with all of you about exploring, managing, and understanding emotions. I've been thinking a lot about the emotional extremes of joy and pain, and the way that these two emotions can be felt together in the same life, in the same day, and oftentimes even in the same moments. I worry that we have perhaps raised a generation that might be afraid to feel the extreme emotional pain, or to fear that you are somehow unauthentic if in times of pain you don't know what to do with a moment of feeling joy, that somehow you can only live in one emotional framework, one schism, that somehow these emotions don't belong together. It's such a confusing clash of extremes, joy and pain. It creates an emotional dissonance. It's powerful, it's uncomfortable, but it's also deeply memorable. I was in Ohio this week to close up my family home. My mother passed away this last month. Both of my amazing parents are now gone. And I want to tell you that my week was an amazing mix of joy and pain. We did a lot of laughing and celebrating. My 4 crazy, loving siblings, they've actually been texting me photos of all the crazy stuff they're clearing out of the house now that I'm gone. It was fun, it was joyful, and it was achingly sad. I believe that maturity, or even a type of kind of self-actualization, if you think of it that way, is being able to grow to recognize that experiences of emotions are not to negate or balance each other out. The purpose of joy is not to mitigate pain. It just arrives in a moment for you to grapple with it and to feel it. But it shouldn't, and indeed it can't erase pain. I think we have forgotten to tell you that enough, that it's okay. Your life can and will, and I might argue should be, full of that complete range of emotional experiences. Your losses recently have been real and painful and hard. The world has been a tough and scary place over these last 6 months. And I think it's true that the next 6 are going to be hard as well. And yet I see you snatching moments of joy, watching you circle at night up on the field in your chairs and talk to each other. Good for you. And while I feel empathy for you going through these experiences, we can't protect you from them or eliminate them. And I actually don't think that we should. We just have to love and support you through them when we can. You are a group of young people who are actually having a life experience, a real one, right now, in live time. Pain and joy commingled, raw emotions. A lot of past graduation speeches, they'll say things about how you might be the next great generation, the group that will somehow change the world or become something different in unique ways. but I think perhaps you guys could actually be that. You have had some life-changing experiences that are unprecedented. And I think that the pain and loss and emotional stress and overcoming the uncertainty of your future that lies ahead for you might well galvanize you to a new inner strength where you understand how to leverage pain, to feel it and to not fear it, but to actually use it to stabilize and drive you. I encourage you to experience the full range of emotions that you are living in, to feel the extremes, to seek joy, to navigate pain, but to not see them as mutually exclusive of each other, but to accept that they coexist in ways that you can use to create a rich, nuanced, emotional life full of depth and intensity. You are leaving Westborough High having demonstrated an emotional maturity that few people go through and handle well. I, as superintendent of schools, am immensely proud of how you have managed this time with us, how good you've been to us. I wish you all the strength and the best. Thank you.
Squeaky clean. 2 days prior to the first day of freshman year, like the classic person that I am, I purchased a $5 pencil case from Amazon. Shout out to Amazon Prime. It's a blue case with a single zipper that goes along the border of the case that has surprisingly not been lost yet and has lasted me all throughout high school. Roughly 4 days into freshman year, a friend of mine ended up accidentally, or at least I hope accidentally, placed a nearly melted Reese's peanut butter cup on my brand new scuff-free case. After apologizing profusely, she then proceeded to scribble her name in, mind you, permanent black Sharpie in an attempt to quote-unquote reverse the mistake. As I stared at this blaringly protruding stain, I chose to embrace it, and I wrote my excessively long name right beside it. Throughout the past 4 years, I've had friends, strangers, teachers, and even a therapy dog sign my ordinary blue case. Each and every signature is loud and unique, some with a classic heart next to it, maybe a smiley face, written either obnoxiously large or incredibly tiny. Now, it takes me 5 minutes of uninterrupted staring to finally spot a singular, untouched portion of blue. Each person that laid a pen on this case quite literally left behind a permanent mark forever. I doubt many people can recall the time they signed this case, and even if they did in the first place, but that's simply the beauty of our existence. You never quite know the importance of our impact until it's all we have left. Our class is a bit too familiar with the feeling of isolation, divisiveness, and uncertainty. It would be ignorant to graze over the fact that we were asked to suddenly accept the abrupt end to our senior year. However, at the same time, you and I both know that we've heard every cliche in the book about how heroic, strong-willed, and accommodating we are to be graduating during this time in history, as if we genuinely had a choice. We're here today in spite of finishing the majority of the semester online and amid a global pandemic. That's a sentence we've heard so many times. However, throughout the whole whirlwind that 2020 has proven to be, I've accepted that the phrase, "I don't know," possesses great worth in today's times. By admitting ignorance, you automatically open doors for yourself to learn. There's power in admitting you don't have all the answers. Inevitably, there will be a time in your life and my life where we will come upon an unbearable hardship, and I hope that when that time comes, we remind ourselves to pause and refocus, kind of like what we've been doing right now. Similarly to how a tornado creates its own path as a result of destruction, I have faith that we too will be authors of our paths, hopefully without the whole destruction part. Today, we're expected to feel relieved and accomplished in the midst of the clear and prevalent injustice that has finally been brought to our eyes. And I encourage you to reflect on the past 4 years and more to truly absorb this indescribable feeling called graduation. But I also highly, highly, highly encourage you to find the power in your newfound freedom and to serve the community around us. Let's start a revolution of equality. Let us be the ones to choose to use our power in a way that uplifts those that aren't given a rightful chance at life. And not just for ourselves, but let us prove to the next generation ahead of us that we don't need another memorial or a trending hashtag for us to seek and strive for humane respect. Your perseverance and tenacity is what people will remember. Although we're seated here together, we're facing separation in ways we've never, ever experienced before. We're living in a world that, quite frankly, will never, ever be the same again. So I won't stand here and ask for you all to come together, but to rather demand better together. We have all seen each other come together during the darkest of times, and before we part ways today, I ask you to be active but patient in your life, to never downgrade your dreams for today's halting reality, and to always, always trust the process. As my favorite icon, Olivia Pope, once said, "We're many things, but we are not stupid." I am so unbelievably proud of each and every one of you and could not have wished to graduate with a better class. Here's to the future. Peace out.
Even squeakier clean. Good afternoon. To the seniors, you made it. We all made it. Here, that's right. Here on our turf field to honor and confer diplomas to the class of 2020, the 148th class of seniors to graduate from WHS. A few months ago, we were not sure we could hold this event given the onset of a very serious health pandemic, but we knew we wanted to, that we needed to have today, and it feels normal to be together. I'm very happy for the seniors and their families to have this important culminating ceremony. We had a really special senior week full of fun activities and school and community events to show our regards to what the members of the class of 2020 accomplished and what they mean to us. So I'd like to express a very public thanks to the following people who made these events and today possible. To our Superintendent, Amber Bach, and School Committee, for their support and confidence given to all of us here at Westborough High School community. To the town offices, Westborough Board of Health, Board of Selectmen, and our town administrator that gave their guidance, blessing, and approval for all these special events. To the WHS administrative team, several faculty and staff members for their help in coordinating so much, but especially June 6th, drop-off, pickup, and procession through the campus, Mr. WHS, baccalaureate, and many other things leading to today. To the families who remained patient and cooperated with the guidelines, and a special thanks to the small group of parents who collaborated with me and the class officers to pull all the events of Senior Week together. Especially Mrs. Jennifer Rotman for the outstanding coordination and organization of the posters at the Memory Lane event that was held here for every senior who wanted one. To Ms. Alex Toso, a parent, thank you, Jennifer. Ms. Alex Toso, a parent of a WHS alum, whose artistic talents created a marvelous and magical stroll down memory lane for all of us. To someone many of you may not know, or maybe you do, Roberta Brown, a citizen of Westborough who wanted a parade for the seniors down Main Street with decorations and music, and I'd have to say that might have been the best Rotary run of your high school career. To the class officers for their insightful ideas, their energy, and dedicated leadership to this class, and the best for last, to the seniors. As you've heard already today, your resilience, your agreeability, and your positive attitude were simply infectious and motivated us to pull all this off. Together we got through these last few months, and we have memories for the rest of our lives. And speaking of a positive attitude, I would like my brief advice to the seniors to focus on this virtue. I know you have lots of memories of all the years of your schooling. However, I would like to briefly recall this past year with all of the issues that arose, which caused some worry and grief in the fall and in the spring. Despite the obstacles these uncontrollable forces of nature created for you, the past few months and continue to challenge you, when you reflect upon these times, I want you to focus on the positive things that have come out of those experiences. For example, in the fall, you and we dealt with the delay in the opening of this beautiful stadium facility because of the wild weather over the summer and into the fall. However, there was not just one, but 2 opening nights that you got to experience. The night games we did have were a blast. And who could forget our girls' soccer team's incredible victory over our rival down the road, whoever they are. The torrential rain, the freezing rain, and wind, what a win that was. Right here. You got through a mild winter without too many snow days. Again, kind of a setback, because you were probably expecting those. That may have bummed you out at first, but in hindsight, it afforded you more quality time in person with your classmates and teachers, considering how the spring unfolded. Then the spring came and canceled just about all the activities we were so looking forward to. Our in-person learning, roaming the hallways the last 2 weeks of school, saying goodbye to your teachers. Yet, we rallied. You rallied. There were bright sides to these situations, and hopefully you experienced those bright sides. Teachers connected with you, and you with them. And while it was definitely not the same using Google Meets or Zoom, your relationships with them were maintained, strengthened in some areas. You had to quarantine and stay home and wear a mask for your safety and for the safety of those around you, which is still good practice and necessary, by the way. Perhaps you made the most of that private me time and learned a little bit more about yourself, developed a new hobby or interest, learn to cook or do laundry, which will serve you well in the months ahead. Or maybe you even just learned to slow down a little. And when restaurants closed down for a period of time, at least Chick-fil-A stayed open. And how good is curbside pickup? I mean, really, you call up or order online, give them a time you'll be there, pull up, and they place the goods right there in your car, putting a smile on your face. That's a pretty good upgrade, if you ask me, out of a bad situation. You're the only class to have 2 parades in a year, one on the first day of school and one on the last. And of course, graduation today. It's a pretty impressive list of things that went fairly well for you, given all the difficulties that we all faced. Some very nice outcomes indeed. Margaret Wheatley, an author who writes articles and books about change theory and systems thinking, wrote, "Determination, energy, and courage appear spontaneously when we care deeply about something. We take risks that are unimaginable in any other context." To me, that's encouraging you to persevere when an obstacle is in front of you. Don't let that challenge get the best of you, even when it's important. The world right now may seem like an uncertain, confusing, or tumultuous place, and to a degree that is true. But don't be daunted by it. There is a ton of goodness too. Be part of the kindness to yourself and others. Be part of the change for the better. Look on the bright side. Make that call or order online. Go get what you dream of. Lift it up at the curbside and make yourself and those around you happier. Be the bright spot on it all. Congratulations to every member of this great and gritty class of 2020. We will miss you. You're always welcome back, and we wish you the best. May your promising futures be happy, healthy, truly rich with meaning, and above all else, bright. Thank you, and we're ready to confer the diplomas.
Bisan Malik Abuafak. Nicole Elizabeth Alexander. Kevin Medeiros Alves. Adiel Sharon Amos. Isabella Elise Angelini. Anjali Anil Kumar. Francisco Jose Arias Benitez. Thomas James Armstrong. Taylor Michael Bacon. Alexander Michael Badger. Caroline Louise Baldwin. Jackson Walker Berry. Timothy Francis Berry. Adele Anthony Bavar. Anne Elizabeth Beckman. Peter Forbush Bersani. Navi Singh Bimra. Joshua Larkin Board. Fiona Simone Boyd. Keelan Rome Boyle. Sydney Gabriel Breen. Madison Faith Brom. Jennifer Ann Brown. Audrey Elizabeth Buck. Avery Eleanor Budnick. Sam Indiana Buradagunta. William Joseph Berger. Charles Evan Burlisle. Helen Yishan Kai. Alexander Joseph Calhoun. Justin Edward Capuccio. Holly Elizabeth Carew. Julie Ann Carrier. Allison Caston. Haley Rose Cernalia. Asael Cespedes. Lauren Elizabeth Chandler. Rupkatha Chatterjee. Davy Arturo Cianci. Ethan James Clark. Paul Jacob Allen Connolly. Valeria Contreras. Sarah Elizabeth Corcoran. Iona Gwenny Cotton. Philip Grant Crane. Yasmin Cruz. Ayerkin Daifulin. Gabriella Marie Danieli. Carl Nicholas Dankward. Adam Charles Dappolite. Anirban Dasgupta. Rebecca Camara D'Souza. Thomas Donald DeCourcy. Thank you. Dulce Sofia De Paz. Vinayaka Vivekanand Desai. Cassandra Faith Dicker. Audrey Michelle Didier. Leah Denise Donovan. Tara Violet Dupree. Michael Robert Durr. Sophie Eliana Eisenthal. Nardine Nader Fayez Fahim. Maya Judith Farazan. Josephine Rich Ferguson. Lydia Ann Ferreira. Caitlin Marie Firth. Samuel Orsay Fonseca. Michael Richard Gagney. Noah Dunton Garvey. Robert William Garvey. Owen John Gately. Corina Catherine Gencarelli. Jessica Rose Gang. Nicolette M. Georgiotis. Cecilia Marie Getz. Tyler David Gomes. Marola Rafat Gohar. Madeline Louise Graves Witherell. Olivia Perkins Graves Witherell. Gabrielle Robing Gu. Stella Z. Gu. Ryan Michael Gilbo. Luis Antonio Gunke. Emily Christine Hamill. Emma Jane Harden. Pranav Hariharan. Nicole Ryan Hippley. Cassidy Aaron Ho. Alyssa Ann Hogan. Alexander Brennan Honan. Scott Donovan Horsfall. Basim Hussein. Tanishka Indorker. Jan Alicia and Haber Korshen. Siddharth Young N. Iyer. Gianni Joel Takim Jacob. Riti Jain. Jeremy William James. Keith Lander Samuel Jonasant. Grace Ann Rogers Johnson. Laura Avia Junquera. Cassie Leah Kadish. Max Jared Kaplan. Sam Lucas Kaplan. Niall Khan Kashani. Jackson Joseph Katz. Ruben Emil Kaufman. Arshlene Kaur. Dominic Schuning Kavanagh. Carolyn Elizabeth Kelly. Patrick Joseph Kelly. Keegan Matthew Kerr. Siddharth Satish Kakar. Jamie Ju-Young Kim. Mo Ray Kim. Kylie Judith Kinser. Vidula Anil Kunte.
Olivia Rose Last. Cassidy Marie Latanzio. Peter William Laughlin. Ellen Elizabeth Lawrence. Christine Lee. Haley Lee Burke. Rachel Ann Lehman. Luke Staniford Lentine. Lydia Jean Levesque. Peter Lee. Catherine Dale Liebert. Cecilia Jayoon Lim. Brady Yunsheng Lin. Ryan Charles McIntyre. Stephen Arian Malinowski. Nicholas Michael Marcoux. Dia Rebecca Matthew. Sasha Mavredick. Brendan Joseph McCafferty. Carolyn Veronica McDermott. Connor Romano McGrath. Daniel Raymond McMillan. Aiden Alexander Meehan. Jacob Raymond Molesky. Haley Yan Mang. Ivan Alexei Desitov Miranda. Arya Jaiprakash Mystery. Dylan Paul Malloy. Emily Nicolina Monaco. Damian Patrick Moore. Eduardo Andre Mora Silva. Heidi Abril Moya. Audrine Mujni. Ashlyn Brianna Murray. Gargi Shashikant Naik. Ryan Doan Nguyen. Parmas Nyayapur. Tia Elizabeth Young Nye. Andrew Thomas O'Keefe. Patrick Michael O'Neill. Aiden Joseph O'Sullivan. Elmer Agustin Oliva. Shafat Iqbal Osmani. Shiva Falgan Pabathi. Adina Shanoy Palior. Caitlin Elizabeth Papagalis. Meghana Perez. Caitlin Elaine Pascarella. Kirtan G. Patel.
Congratulations, Caitlin. Well done.
Prachi Mahul Patel. Vandana Pravan Patel. Margot Grace Pearson. Cameron John Pelkey.
Congratulations, Margot. Good luck.
Johanna Maria Pellegrino.
Cam, good luck, okay? Well done.
Emma Grace Phelps.
Joanna, well done. Congratulations. Good luck.
John Robert Phelps.
Congratulations, Emma.
John Ford Powers. Andrew Prabhakar.
Congratulations. Good luck.
Hamal Rakesh Kumar Prajapati. Neha Prasad.
Congratulations. Well done.
Owen John Primo. Rebecca Elizabeth Pringle. Brendan Andrew Prispic.
Congratulations, Rebecca. Well done.
Amanda Quintino dos Santos. Vidar Ramanujan. Emma Alice Ramey. Adharsh Ravi. Sarah Wren.
Congratulations. Well done.
Caleb James Reski.
Sarah, congratulations.
Grant Christopher Ribby.
Congratulations, Caleb.
Molly Martha Richards.
Congratulations. Well done, Grant.
Eli Anthony Richmond.
Well done, Molly. Congratulations.
Brianna Nicole Rogers.
Congratulations, Eli.
Megan Catherine Roloff.
Well done, Brianna.
Mateus Ferreira Rosa. Samuel Benvie Rotman.
Well done. Absolutely. All the time.
Dylan Pasquale Ruberti. Minatula Yasser Sabri. Daniel DeBarros Sales.
Well done. Very well done.
Ellie Stewart Sams. Tyler Joseph Sanchez.
Ellie, congratulations. Well done.
Saketh Sankara.
Well done, Tyler.
Miara Bell Sazdi. Kyle Robert Sawicki.
Congratulations. Back and visit us. I know you will.
Colby Russell Scamora.
Good luck, okay?
Maximilian Albert Skirbin.
Well done.
Paul Neantonio Sejemba. Amrit Senthil Komar.
Well done.
Yusuf Basim Gamal Shaker. Kripakshi Sharma. Ella Sharon.
Congratulations. Well done. Thank you.
Savannah Nicole Shepard. Johnny Long Shi.
Well done, Savannah. I'm going to miss you, all right? Keep us posted.
Joseph Benjamin Schiffman.
Good luck.
Zishan Abid Shwabi.
Well done, Joe. We're going to miss you, all right? Be good.
Henry Ryan Siegel. Gabriela Silva.
Henry, congratulations.
Giovanna Carla Pereira Silva. Brianna Emily Siquiera. Daniel Edward Slattery. Sana Sumro. Bruce Silva Souza. Larissa Oliveira Souza. Emma Jacqueline Spiro. Joshua Scott Sternberg. Sarah Constance Strausio. Anthony Nakyun Sung. An Mohammed Abid Sayed. Jacob Lawrence Tartaglia. Haley Ray Thrush. Nicholas Litton Tram. Theodore Paul Trebenko. Brianna Lauren C. Breeze Tucker. Elizabeth Gail Tucker. Alexa Lynn Vasilakis. Anthony Louis Vella. Lisbeth Helen Verheyen. Icaro Soros Vieira. Sasha Cayenne Viteri. Tabitha Claire Volan. Shivali Ronak Vyas. Janaya Glentrice Watson. Christiana Rem Vaversik. John Michael White. Andrew James Wickamoratney. Anthony Harold Wilkinson. Olive Marie Williams. Colin Richard Wilson. Cameron Tyler Winchester. Zachary Daniel Winchester. Elliot James Wong. Henry Samuel Wong. Bradford Matthew Woodcock. Nathan Henry Wright. Anderson Shaw. Melody Zhu. Catherine Sungyeon Yang. Rami Shams Zebian. Michael William Zembruski. Justin Tyler Papagelis. Nishka Panth. Alexei Denisovich Katimsky. Samantha Nicole Stuckey. Christy Rose Scamora. Rhea Balasubramanian.
Congratulations to the class of 2020. Well done. Before we depart, we're going to have our president of the class of 2020 come up and lead the class in one final act. And then I ask that everybody sort of afterward stay where you are, because we do have to have orderly dismissal, and we do have an order in which we're going to do that orderly dismissal. So at this time, Rhea, could you come forward?
If you guys don't mind standing up, please. Alrighty, ready to do this? Let's do it! Congratulations, class of 2020!